Hello friends, this is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and in my last video we took a look at the new video for Darth Revan, and we talked about what it could mean, what it looks like. We still don't have all the information. We do know that it could be launching as early as Thursday, March 21st, or it could be set back a week and we might not see it until March 28th, according to the forums. But one of the things that a lot of people have been talking about is this KOTOR fatigue. And someone brought up a really good point in the comments of my last video, and they said that I wouldn't be so opposed to KOTOR. I have nothing against KOTOR. I love KOTOR, but what I don't like is having one single meta dominate the arena. Now, for those of you who don't know, who haven't been around long enough, this is actually how the meta used to work. The arena meta was one team, and it ran for about the 3 months that it took for free-to-play players to be able to farm that current meta. So if you weren't able to unlock the meta during launch, during the first initial event, then you kind of missed out on the meta because the meta would change about 3 months later. About, I want to say 6 months to a year ago, this kind of changed. And what we started to see is multiple metas being introduced that allowed various players, allowed more players to kind of give their hand, right? And so you didn't have to be forced to stick with whatever single meta was dominant. You had the round robin, right? And we've seen this in a number of different ways. We've seen a number of different metas over the last couple of months. We've seen the JTR meta, we've seen the Night Sisters meta return, we've seen Traya meta, obviously CLS with C-3PO, CLS without C-3PO, CLS with Chewbacca, CLS without Chewbacca. It's been a lot of different stuff, and now the dominant meta is Jedi Knight Revan. Now, if you look at the meta report, it shows 90% of leaders in the meta currently are running Jedi Knight Revan as their leader, right? That's pretty insane. Now, 6% run Darth Traya, 2% CLS, Finn, Mother Talzin, Rey, Bastila, so on and so forth, right? But what's interesting is with a new character like this, with new Darth Revan coming, I have to wonder, how will the meta shift in the future? And there's a lot of speculation, and it really, I think, will shift one of two ways. We either have the return to a single meta at a time, or continuation of this multi-meta group. So what does that mean? I do think that what they're going to do is they're going to continue on this round robin. Now, there's a few reasons why I think that. One, I think people enjoy it a lot more. I think the diversity of a meta, the diversity of arena is what makes arena fun. When there's multiple metas that I can kind of, climb my way up through different opponents, I find it more challenging. I find it more enjoyable. I find it a little more strategic, because then I can say, this is how I'm going to do it. This is how I think they're going to attack me, and so on. Two, I think that it continues a revenue stream for Capital Games that I don't think they're going to want to squash. That being said, we then have to take a look at what a Darth Revan meta could look like. We do know that Darth Revan, HK-47, and Bastila are going to have a great synergy. I won't even get started on the HK-47 rework right now, because that's a different video unto itself. But if you look at those three characters, they're going to have some kind of companionship. They're going to have some kind of synergy. Now, it's been speculated that Sith Marauder will have a functionality here. It's very likely that Sith Trooper will, again, see some action. Now, we saw Sith Trooper with the Traya meta. I think that it's very possible that we could see this. I do want to think that Sith Assassin has a function. I do like that he can, his electrocute ability does allow him to stun people. That's, I think, turn meter is always important. Being able to take a character out of the battle, out of the equation, is always important. But here's the thing. I think that shock is going to play some kind of role in this. Now, if you look at Bastila, who else has shock? Emperor Palpatine and Count Dooku. So it's very possible, and I'm speculating that Count Dooku and Emperor Palpatine, both Sith, both fairly decent, and on the right teams, this could be a time where we see a resurgence of those two characters. Now, whether we actually see them or not is anybody's guess. I do think that we are going to see some kind of new meta, but while I do hope it will be able to dominate the Jedi Knight Revan meta, I do think it's going to leave itself open for other opportunities, because it's not just this, a round robin has to have multiple teams, right? A multiple meta has to have more than one team. Now, I don't think any of the old meta teams are going to be completely overwhelmed outright. I think some of them will still have a place in the lower 50s to 100s, but I think that what we'll likely see is a Jedi Knight Revan team, a Darth Revan team. I think General Grievous is going to come back in one form or another. A lot of people were disappointed when Grievous wasn't able to defeat Revan as easily as he was shown in that original footage. But I think that it's very possible that we could see a Grievous maybe being able to defeat a Darth Revan, maybe being able to dominate in the arena. And if Darth Revan does become a new meta, what other metas will emerge to be able to defeat him? I don't necessarily know. I think it's very possible we could see the General Grievous coming out. I think with his rework and with quite possibly a focus on the Clone Wars era here in the coming months, I'm very much thinking that maybe we'll finally get our Jedi rework. Maybe we'll get our Galactic Republic rework. Maybe a Padme Amidala and a Clone Wars Anakin is going to be dominant. We'll have to wait and see. I don't rightly know, but I do think that there's a lot of potential coming in the next couple of months. And I do think a major shift to the meta is going to be part of the dynamic for all people in Arena, for all people who love this game. But I think Darth Revan is the start of it. I think it's very possible that we could see a lot more meta teams being displayed in the coming months. That being said, guys, what do you think is going to happen with this? If the kit does get released today, what do you think of the kit? I do want to do a live stream when the kit goes live and talk about the kit and get your feedback on it. Let me know what you guys think. On a side note, I have received a lot of responses for where you guys want to see my channel go, where you want me to see my focus lie in. And I really appreciate it. If you haven't gotten a chance to take the community survey, I will leave it in a link below. This will help me develop where the channel needs to go, where the channel needs to go. Leave a comment in the section below. Like, subscribe, share. Check us out on goingnerdy.com. Visit us on Instagram, Twitter, really anywhere we can be found. Join us on Discord and let's talk about this. What do you think the new meta is going to look like? What do you think the new Darth Revan team should look like? And what are you excited to see him tested out as? How are you excited to see him tested out as? Leave a comment in the section below. Like, subscribe, share. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. And as always, my friends, smile and stay nerdy.